And here we are with Game 2 of my match, Patrick Holland versus Daryl Cloran. And Machine Red versus Cawblade. Both decks very heavy in the new Phyrexia. Majority of cards are from older sets, but new Phyrexia definitely makes a big splash in this for both of our decks.
It's quite prevalent. Definitely some new interactions, some card reading going on.
I'm actually a big fan of the Molten Steel.
The Molten Steel?
Molten Steel.
I'm also a big fan of Volt Charge, personally.
Volt Charge is huge.
I think it's pretty good in Pyromancer Ascension.
I think, yeah.
That's what I'll be using it for. I think it maybe takes place of Stagger Shock. I mean, the second one of either sort gets you your 2 counters, but I like the Volt Charge because it gets you there right on your turn. Whereas the second Stagger Shock, you have to wait till your upkeep.
It's true. It's true.
But they both have their arguments for them.
As we see, Daryl plays a turn 2 Sphere of the Suns. I have to be perfectly honest, I did not see that one coming.
Alright, and a Stoneforge Mystic. Searching up a Batterskull. Oh, no, pulls it back. And the War and Peace.
War and Peace made such a huge impact in Game 1 for me. It pretty much brought me back into that game single-handedly. So, seems to be the right pick in this situation.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree as opposed to the Batterskull.
The Batterskull keeps it around. It becomes a creature. The re-equip, I think, is what bothers me in the situation.
Okay. But with only one guy out to wear your sword, the bolt in response to equip is pretty brutal for you right here.
I can return it, but without my Stoneforge.
Plays a mountain. And turn 3 Koth.
That is vicious.
That's pretty gross.
I don't really know what to do with that other than...
He does not attack.
Eat it.
So he is definitely showing Lightning Bolt or Burst Lightning. Turn 4 Koth, or turn 3 Koth rather, that's a big game. That's pretty rough. Especially versus a control deck. Control decks generally have a hard time dealing with planeswalkers that hit the board.
Well, him not attacking, like you said, it definitely flashed the bolt. It was actually curious why he didn't attack in the first place if he wasn't going to use the bolt at end of turn anyway. And as you see, he uses the bolt right here. Debating, annoyingly waving it in my face.
And Flash Freeze.
He gets the Flash Freeze out of me.
He waves it all the way to the graveyard.
All the way. Way down.
Untaps and bashes. Definitely the correct play there.
I'm going to eat 4 because I want to keep my Mystic.
Seems good.
Him doing that and forcing me to use the Flash Freeze also keeps me off flashing in my sword.
Because here you'd be equipping and bashing.
Mm-hmm. But with only one creature, I cannot. And also sitting at 4 mana, being awkward, I cannot either.
Hits Koth down to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Hardcast Sword. End of turn, Shatter. No Spell Pierce that time.
I wish, my friend, I wish.
So the Batterskull really wouldn't have made a difference.
It would have made a difference in regards to the Lightning Bolt. I would have flashed in the Batterskull to keep my defenses up for the turn. So instead of taking the correct play, which I had no idea of at the time, I took the incorrect.
Agreed. A Kadoltha Phoenix, bashes for 8.
I wasn't really a big fan of Kadoltha Phoenix. Actually, I can't even say that I still am not. I'm still not a big fan of Kadoltha Phoenix. But it has a place in this deck. It's a 4/4 that flies and beats.
It definitely does. And recursion is big. Any kind of recursion against a control deck is definitely pretty big.
It's pretty conditional for recursion.
It is pretty conditional, but it's recursion nonetheless. So is Vengevine.
Yeah.
Someone's going to find a way to abuse it.
I believe Vengevine has more of a following built around the deck than
for sure.
Phoenix. This is more.
Kadoltha Phoenix is more of a role player, where Vengevine is definitely the win con. And the fact you don't have to, you can theoretically get Ventrance back for 0 with Memnite. Seems.
I've had my fair share of losses to that combo.
Okay.
And Urabrask, the hidden, makes his first showing at...
And a swing for 8, a Condemn for the Urabrask.
That will hit the bottom of the deck and not the graveyard.
Still an 8-point life swing. As Daryl will gain 4 and deal 4.
At this point, I'm pretty happy trading a Condemn for a Urabrask.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. In a rough spot here.
Well, anytime you can play a turn 3 Koth, that puts you in a rough spot. Heck, it can be a turn 4 Koth.
There's a Mystic here, in hand.
I believe the correct play is to play the Stoneforge, search up the Batterskull, and keep that Divine Offering open.
1 mana short.
Life.
1 mana short of playing the Batterskull after searching this turn. Which, if you'd been able to do that, you might have been able to pull it out.
It's huge not being on the play against a red deck like this that actually accelerated an additional turn.
Most definitely. The acceleration is definitely noteworthy.
At this point,
I'm
really just baiting out what he's
showing
going to
Condemn.
use. If I can flash the Condemn, hopefully he will not attack and just animate to add the counter and pass. It's a long shot.
Honestly,
but
there's
point,
really no reason.
There's
no reason not to.
No, definitely
add
not.
the counter. How do you feel about Ichor Wellspring in this kind of deck?
I think you need to be running something
to get rid of it as well.
Yeah, Phyrexia's Core maybe. Bit of an underrated, and I scoop it up.
Okay.
That was not a good game for myself.
Well, turn 3 Koth. A lot of decks are going to have a hard time dealing with that. Anything that's not an aggro deck is going to have a hard time dealing with that.
Maybe even an aggro deck. I mean, it has a response to it. It depends on what board presence that the aggro deck had before the actual Koth resolved.
I mean, playing Boros, I think I could... There are definitely outs to a turn 3 Koth. The best being a turn 4 Koth. My own. It seems pretty good.
Swing in, play a land, swing in with your step links, and then bolt to put it down.
Yep, agreed. Definitely agreed.
Alright, so we're going to go into game 3. Click the link and follow us on over.